Now, let's talk about PDHP in particular. Let's talk about how you approach that subject. Now that you look back at it, what would be your key tips to someone studying that right now and preparing for an exam on it? What are the things to be wary of? What do you think were the most difficult parts? Do you think people spend too much time on, not enough time on? Give us your perspective on that.
So maybe just to start off with, like, PDHP was really my passion. So I think generally, if you want to do well in something, make it your passion. Even if it's not, just try to make it your passion, I guess. Compared to all my subjects, there was something different about PDHPE that I just wanted to, I really wanted to excel in PDH. So
Yeah, and to add to that, sorry, I was going to
having
say,
that,
or just choose the subjects you feel like you are curious about at least, even if not
yeah,
super passionate in the first
yeah,
place, so that you don't have to
of
force the
course.
passion, right?
I really wanted to do well in that. So what I did was, like, it wasn't anything too special. I guess in the beginning, of course, was having all my notes done by a particular, maybe by the week or the weekends, and then always have been consistent in my notes. But like I mentioned before, after that, it's all about details. Like, markers really look for detail in PHPE, and by detail I mean examples, keywords, I guess, that will separate you from someone maybe who just uses general language. You have to be so specific. So some things that I used to do was, after I had all my notes, so I mentioned, like, adding sticky notes of detail. What I would do is I would go back through past sample HSC answers from NESA, and I would actually look, okay, what is the sample answer showing? And then I would add in the key, I guess, idea from the sample answer, and say, and write it in my notes, so that, and I did this, like, for every paper. So by the end, I pretty much had sticky notes all over my printed notes on each area of the syllabus on, okay, if I got this question, this is something that I definitely need to add in. So, because yeah, the sample answers are really good in that way. Other than that, definitely, after getting feedback from my teacher, because I gave her a lot of past questions as well. So that's another key thing. And it's not English, but it's kind of like English. Like, you follow like a peel structure, having that first point sentence, having your examples. But yeah, multiple examples. And I would say, like, maybe people think one example is enough, but even for a 3 marker, I would try to have, like, at least 2 examples. Maybe for a 5 marker, I would try to have 4. Like, the more examples that you add, you're really, like, strengthening your response. Details, keywords. What I mean by keywords is, for example, in core 1, there's a lot about, like, cancer and CVD. And when you start talking about that, it's really good to actually define cancer, for example, if you're going to start off, and then using keywords for cancer, right? So metastasis, and, like, using that in your response, and showing maybe how that might lead to increased mortality or morbidity in a group. That keyword, like, already the marker would be like, okay, they understand this area of the syllabus, and they have shown, I guess, difference to someone who's very, like, general. Statistics, I tried to memorize a lot of statistics. So and the really good thing is, in PDH, there's a lot of crossover between cores, options, and you find that you can kind of use the same. Like, for example, we did equity and health as one of our options, which is very similar to core 1, and there's a lot of there was a really big overlap, and that was really good because it meant that I could actually just focus on specific statistics and use that all the way through. So I find statistics really helpful because it only strengthens your response.